Welcome back to another class on Dalet Amot shel halacha. Ein lo lakadosh baruch hu beolomo ela arba amot shel halacha bilvad. We are in the Chazara program. This will be part 31. Today we want to see a very interesting halacha. Can a Jew, after Shabbat is already over, but he still did not do Havdalah, can he tell another Jew that did do Havdalah, can he tell him to go ahead and do melacha for him? For example, let's say the husband keeps the time of Rabbeinu Tam when it comes to taking out Shabbat, which is 30 minutes later. But the wife, she keeps the time of the Geonim, which is half an hour earlier than Rabbeinu Tam. Can the husband now go ahead and tell the wife, say Baruch HaMavdil Ben Kodesh L'chol, and start cooking for me a meal, or check something for me on the computer, or call my mother, whatever the situation might be? Can a Jew that did not take out Shabbat yet tell another Jew that did take out Shabbat? Can one tell the other to do melacha for them after Shabbat has already come out? Before we begin today's class, let's just go over the opinions of the Geonim and Rabbeinu Tam. We need to understand, like we saw before in the Sefer of Halacha Birura, Hagaon Rav David Yosef Shlita Rishon LeZion mentioned to us, preferably one should always follow Rabbeinu Tam. Halachically, you're allowed to follow the opinion of the Geonim. What is the difference between the Geonim and Rabbeinu Tam? When you look at the time of the Geonim, if, let's say for argument's sake, if the candle lighting time is 6:12, after candle lighting you have 18 more minutes until sunset. So from 6:12 plus 18 is going to give me 6:30 p.m. So sunset is at 6:30 p.m. So when did Shabbat come out? So when did Shabbat come in? At 6:30 p.m. But when did one light the candles? At 6:12. Come to Geonim, according to the Geonim, Shabbat finishes 1 hour after candle lighting, which will be 7:12. That is the opinion of the Geonim. So whenever the time you see on the calendar or on the bulletin board, let's say it says 6:12, 6:15, 7 o'clock, doesn't matter. 1 hour later, you should know that's exactly when Shabbat comes out, according to the Geonim. However, according to Rabbeinu Tam, it's a little bit different. According to Rabbeinu Tam, it's actually 72 minutes after sunset. That's when Shabbat comes out. So it comes out to be like this. If sunset is at 6:30, add 72 minutes. Let's just break it down in simplicity. Add 1 hour, then another 12 minutes. It's going to give me 7:42 p.m. According to Rabbeinu Tam, Shabbat is at 7:42 p.m. Comes out the difference between Rabbeinu Tam and the Geonim is a 30-minute difference. So, as a general rule, almost all the time this is what you're going to see. If candle lighting is at 7 o'clock, that means according to the Geonim, Shabbat will be out 8 o'clock. It's 1 hour later. But according to Rabbeinu Tam, all you got to do is add another half an hour, and that's exactly when Shabbat is out according to Rabbeinu Tam. Now that we know this, let's go ahead and try to understand the halachot. We're going to see today in the Sefer Halacha Birura, Rav David Yosef is going to speak about two types of people. People that only keep according to the Geonim, they keep the time. And then we're going to see people that keep Rabbeinu Tam and the time of the Geonim. The first halacha we're going to see, Bezrat Hashem, where Atal lo hivdil, you did not do Havdalah on Motzei Shabbat. You didn't say Atach Onatan Shubna Esrei. You didn't say Baruch HaMavdil Ben Kodesh L'chol. You didn't do Havdalah on the cup of wine. You did nothing. But Shabbat is already out. Rav David Yosef is going to tell us, Mutar lomar lechaveru shekvar hivdil la'asot lecha melacha b'motzei Shabbat. You are allowed to say to your friend that already did Havdalah to do for you melacha on Motzi Shabbat. So it comes out of you like this. If you have two people, let's say Reuven and Shimon. Reuven and Shimon, they both hold the times of the Geonim. So let's say it's already 7:12. Shimon went ahead and he did Havdalah. Reuven, for whatever reason, still didn't get a chance to do Havdalah. Reuven is allowed to tell Shimon to do for him melacha on Motzei Shabbat. That's halacha number 1. The next halacha, number 2, V'gam mutar lomar legoy la'asot lo melacha. And so too, one is allowed to tell a non-Jew to do a melacha on Motzei Shabbat, even though you still did not take out Shabbat. You didn't do Havdalah, not in Shemona Esrei, not on the cup of wine, and also you didn't say Baruch HaMavdil Bekodesh L'chol. In all of these cases, we're going to tell you, once Shabbat is out, once it's 7:12, you are allowed to tell a non-Jew to do melacha for you on Motzei Shabbat. Point number 3 actually was the time of the Geonim versus Rabbeinu Tam. Halacha number 4 is going to be like this. Somebody who behaves like the opinion of Rabbeinu Tam, meaning he takes out Shabbat half an hour later, 7:42 let's say. Mutar lomar lechaveiro shenohek shitat hageonim. He's allowed to go ahead and tell his friend that follows the opinion of the Geonim. His friend already took out Shabbat 7:12. But the guy himself is not able to take out Shabbat until 7:42. It's not a question right now, did he do Havdalah or not? He didn't do Havdalah because Shabbat still did not come out. In his world, it's 100% Shabbat. Can this guy that holds Shabbat is out 7:42, can he tell his friend that already took out Shabbat, which is after 7:12? Rav David Yosef Shlita is going to tell us, Mutar, you are allowed to go ahead and tell this guy to do melacha for you on Motzei Shabbat. So it comes out like this. If the husband comes home and he holds the opinion of Rabbeinu Tam, which is 7:42, and his wife holds the time of the Geonim, which is 7:12, and she said Baruch HaMavdil ben Kodesh L'chol, the husband, even though it's Shabbat for him, he will be able to tell his wife to do melacha for him on Motzei Shabbat. Because for him, it's still Shabbat not out, but for her, Shabbat is out. So that's why he's allowed to go ahead and tell her to do the melacha for him on Motzei Shabbat. Let's just read this inside. Umutar lomar lechaveru shekvar hivdil b'motzei Shabbat. One is allowed to tell his friend who already did Havdalah on Motzei Shabbat, sheyaseh melacha avuro, that he should do melacha for him. Afilu kishe'en mitzvah badar, even though there's no mitzvah in that melacha, you just want him to do melacha for you, no problem. Va'afilu hi melacha asura min Torah, even though that melacha that he's about to do is asur from the Torah. For example, this is the first halacha, Rabotai. Let's say Reuven and Shimon, they both hold the time of the Geonim, but Motzei Shabbat comes, you want to start shish kebab. But the problem is, you still didn't do Havdalah. You're right, just say Baruch HaMavdil ben Kodesh L'chol. Let's say he didn't say it. Can you go ahead and tell the friend that already did Havdalah, can you tell him to go ahead and start the fire for you? Put the mangal out, the coals, kerosene, light it up. Can you tell him to do that for you? Even though you still did not do Havdalah? Yes, you are. But there's no mitzvah. It's okay. Comes out over here. A person who did not say Havdalah is telling somebody else who did say Havdalah on Motzei Shabbat to do melacha for him. It is mutar, it is not a problem. Next halacha. V'chei mutar lomar legoy sheyaseh avuru melacha b'motzei Shabbat acher etzet kochavim. Same concept. And so too on Motzei Shabbat, you are allowed to go ahead and tell a non-Jew to do for you a melacha.